So a lot of people ask me about my process and how I'm able to write these recaps for Silver Screen and Rose so quickly. So I'm going to take you behind the scenes today and kind of show you the process, what I do, and how I get it done. Okay, so essentially what happens is I put the game on, it's on the big screen the way you see it right now, and I have a few main websites I use. Obviously, I use ESPN. You can go with Fox Sports or anything else that tracks it, but I use ESPN. It's just what I feel comfortable with. I have my Twitter going. I have the doc ready to go, and usually I have Google Docs or something else on the side as well. That way I write there and then just kind of copy paste in Chorus because I've had trouble with that. Here I'm going to show you really quick a little bit of a setup of kind of how I keep track of things. And really what I do is I put things in first, second, third, fourth quarter, and key takeaways. And when I'm watching the game, I'm just really picking up on any and all observations. Before the game, I'm thinking of what could matter, what might happen. If they win, why do I think they'll win? If they lose, why do I think they'll lose? If they win, what it means in the long term. If they lose, what it means long term. Even though the game hasn't happened, we already know a lot of things regardless of if they win or lose. For example, if they win, that makes it 5 wins in a row. I know they have 42 wins on the season. There's already some things I can say. If they lose, that's the end of their winning streak. That's a loss with 2 games to go. It's the first loss with D'Lo, AD, and LeBron. If they lose, it would also mean that it's the first time, it's another loss against the Clippers, making it 11 in a row. So there's already these storylines and narratives that are already developed regardless in the two, scenarios, the win and the loss. So I already have those things kind of written out and kind of predetermined, and then we'll see how the game actually goes. And then we can, kind of pick a headline and what the main beat is once those things kind of happen. All right, so here I am drinking my LaCroix, and I am typing up a few comments about the game. As you'll see here, my eyes keep ping-ponging up, looking at the screen, writing things down, observing things. And this is kind of, what it looks like live, trying to keep my eyes on the screen and, also make sure I'm not making any big errors or anything. And I'm writing about what I'm seeing, what I'm thinking, and, just most of the time it's just bullet points. So we're currently at halftime in the Lakers-Clippers game. Lakers are down 71-52 against the Clippers. Halftime is usually about 15 minutes. And before, when I first started, that would be a time where I would try to take a quick power nap, honestly, and just try to rest for a moment. I don't do that anymore. I pretty much use it as time to edit, prep, and I probably take about 5 minutes to myself, listen to a song, go use the washroom calmly, and just kind of, work around. Right now, even though the Lakers are down by a lot, I have a feeling this game's going to come down to the wire. I think they're going to come back in the second half. So I already have 2 versions, a win and a loss version, built in the website for Silver Screen and Roll. People always ask me that as well, like last second, how do you do it? You really, when you think it's going to happen, you have to write the 2 scenarios and have both stories drafted and kind of ready to go. That way, regardless of the result, you just have to change a couple things. Because, it's still the same game. Whatever happened in the first quarter happened, second quarter happened. It's just the ending you don't know. So you kind of have to have both ready. So I usually don't do that until about 5 minutes left in the game. But I have a feeling this game is going to happen anyway. So I kind of jumped the gun and did that. So what I'm going to do during this break now, I'm going to go probably listen to a song, go to my room for a minute, kind of, get away from this. And then I'm going to come back with 5 minutes before the first half's over, settle in again and settle down. Right now, my drink of choice is LaCroix. It's either usually for me sparkling water, or coffee. That's what I keep going. Obviously, we don't have any alcohol or anything kind of fun like that. It's just a time to be prepared, be ready, and be focused on the task. So I'm going to keep writing that, and I'll show you some clips, somewhere in the second half. All right, and actually, here's me listening to some music. My sister wanted to kind of capture it, but this is what it looks like. I'm just, listening to music, hanging out in my room, ignore the messes and the squishmallows, and it's almost time. All right, and also, how do I tweet? It is tough for me to tweet while covering these games, but when there's free throws happening, it's a great time because, he's going to go either in or out. It's not really a big deal. That's a good moment for me to quickly throw out a tweet and kind of just mention some of my quick observations that are probably not going to make the actual recap, but, are important enough to put up on Twitter. So the Lakers are down right now, 118-105 with 2 minutes left. So at this point, I'm assuming they're going to lose. I'm only working on the loss version for Silver Screen and Roll. And really, I'm just kind of wrapping up my final thoughts. I don't think anything big is going to happen. I'm just waiting to see when they finally pull LeBron and AD. There's a minute 40 left, so they'll probably, do it in the next dead ball situation and just kind of get it ready. Because again, we want to get the recap up as soon as possible. It's about being quick and fast and accurate. That's the biggest challenge, I think, to this job. That's what people have, literally DM me talking about how quick we are able to get it done. And now today you saw a little bit of what goes on behind the scenes to get that done. Really, it's something that I got good at, this year. I think even last year, had I tried to do this job, I don't feel really good about my chances of quickly processing that information, writing it out, and being able to summarize what I saw without any time to really let it settle in, right? Like, I have to do it live, and it has to be clean for, someone tomorrow who reads it, who could totally read it and get a good perspective on what the game was like. And they are just relying on the words, right? That's what I have to assume. They're just relying on what I said, and it has to summarize the important notes, what happened, why they won, lost, and what the big plays and key moments are. I have to do that in real time for someone who's going to read it later. And that's a huge challenge, but I think I've gotten, decent at it. I want to get better. You can always get better, and that's something, to always work on and strive on improving. But anyway, I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to wrap this up. Maybe I'll do one little more video at the end just to show the tweet up and kind of share that. And then we'll wrap up this vlog, this kind of behind the scenes view of me covering the Lakers' final game against the Clippers this year. And here's the final product. Tweet is out. It's up. The entire recap is up there. We can always go back and edit anything, or I can add something, really quick if I feel like there's something else I wanted to add, kind of in post. But for the most part, once we put it up there, it's just double checking to make sure there's nothing else we need to update. And other than that, it's live, it's up, it's going, and that's the entire process.